Hey yo, Shalom.
Shalom.
All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua B'Shem Kakadosh. And Doan to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Just the bros from GMS London camp, man. We're just gonna be going into just this trend, this sex robot agenda which Esau is pushing out. Which more or less, this is just part of just population control, the eugenics agenda, and it's just just like with everything else that Esau controls. He wants to control when you eat, when you take a shit, like the hours that you work, all these things. He's also just making it like, so if you're gonna get off, fuck a woman, he's making it like, okay, now it's gonna be like, rather than it being like you just go to like a brothel or something. He's like, okay, you can have a robot. You might go to the robo brothel, and then and then just like get some robo pussy, man. Yeah. Instead. And then if he wants, Esau will be able to select, okay, I want X and Y to breed. Yeah. Just like during slavery, man. During slavery, Esau basically controlled which Jakes got to fuck pussy and have youths, man. And then we doing it it's a money-making venture. It's the same thing. It's like, the Georgia Guidestones, they've got basically about, control, keep humanity under 500 million. Yeah. I believe it is. Mm-hmm. So it's the same, it's that eugenics agenda, man. Let me just start with this. This is really just like what, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. They got transgender sex dolls, man. Brothers looking it up. I was looking it up. And they've got fucking images of it's gonna have the rod and the titties and all that shit, and it's just like, bro, it's just a hot mess, man. It's just a hot mess. It's just pure confusion, man.
I thought meth, man.
Just like that shit is just like, come on, someone needs to die for that. Whoever put that together needs to get his head ceremonially removed. But I got this on IB Times. It says sex robots can't be transgender. This is why. And it says a sex robot firm is planning on creating a trans doll. And it said whether short or tall, blonde or brunette, sex robots come in all shapes and sizes, and one firm is floating the idea of a new variety of doll, transgender. Realbotics are makers of sex robots, which has sparked a debate in recent years. On the future of sex and how technology will affect our relationships.
See the thing, it's a lot. It's a good point, right? See that?
Let me just put it in there, because I don't know what's going on there. Cool.
Yeah. So that article it was just speaking about the fact of changing the future of sex. Well, the idea, the creation of sex was already established in the scriptures, man. Therefore, which I read it now. This is Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his wife. Shall leave his father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Well, he's going to cleave onto his transgender sex doll, right?
No, shall cleave unto his wife.
So that's Esau's basically he's trying to outdo the Most High, which is, because pretty much that's what he's been trying to do, because it's 2 Thessalonians 2:4, man. And he's trying to sit in the seat of God and say that he is God, man. That's what this guy's trying to do, because he's trying to rewrite the rules of everything. This guy's saying, okay, no, the earth wasn't created, 12 to 13,000 years ago. It was, hundreds of millions. Humans, we evolved from reptilians 350 million years ago, and and then there was the what's it called, the cave people. What the fuck they call it? I don't even know. But he's basically just trying to put his own spin on basically the origins of man, the Big Bang and all that. And this is just him doing it again, just trying to be like, okay, well, sex ain't good enough. What, man and a woman?
What's wrong
man
with pussy,
a woman?
Man?
He's like, no. He's gone from, okay, two men ramrodding each other, to a man decided, actually, I'm going to chop my rod off and just drill a hole in instead. And now he's like, actually, it's not even that. You might even just buy a dolly, and then that dolly will ram you in the ass. That's what Esau's basically trying to do, man. It's a whole mess of confusion, man.
Wicked, bro.
Let me read some more of this. It says, what real robotics are makers of sex robots that have sparked a debate in recent years on the future of sex and how technology will affect our relationships. The robots are fitted with AI technology and tailor-made personalities and can simulate conversations. So you're going to sit there, you're going to be like, okay, so Sally, how was the weather? The weather was fine. That's a whole mess, man.
It just shows how fucked up the place is, because to actually truly have sex is supposed to be, you know, a carnal pleasure, but it's spiritual too, man. You know,
there's a spiritual connection. Right?
You know, you're in tune to a person's spirit. That's how sex is supposed to be, because nowadays it's fucked up. You have
two become one.
Two is supposed to become one, but now it's just turned into a carnal thing of a guy just smashing a piece of metal and a vibration. And,
so
and that's that.
There's a discharge of what's it called, of lube, and then just some vibration, some machine just going on your rod.
Well, I have a scripture.
Gun.
Isaiah 19 and 14.
What the hell is that shit, man?
The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So that's a perverse spirit. We're in a time period where sex is so overesteemed to the point that you have plastic, you have fake pussy out there, man. You have people out there online customizing a sex doll.
Yeah, you can choose. You know, if you want the
choose
eyes,
the
you
color.
can get the cat eyes. You can get that nigger woman skin.
Yeah.
Or you can get like the gook skin. You know, you can get the hair.
Yeah.
Short, long. You can program it like, okay, you know, you want it to just like, oh, you can get the rapeable sex dolls.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man?
A faggot sex
Oh,
a
detachable rod, man.
Yeah.
Detachable rod. Like, okay, sometimes you might want to, okay, a guy can be like, you know, I want to fuck some pussy in the morning. Then in the night, he's like, you know what, I want a fat vibrator dildo up my anus, man. Bro, it's a hot mess, man. Bro, I suppose this place needs to go, man. Let me just finish up, because it says, what does it say? Unfortunately for robotics, creating a trans sex robot is impossible. What they mean by trans sex robot is dolls that feature detachable genitalia, such as a penis for feminine sex dolls. So it's like, you know, like I said, you're gonna be fucking ramming it in the morning, and they'll be like, actually, you know what, I want to suck on a rod today, and then just plug in the rod. What I mean, like, what the fuck is going on there, man? What kind of a realm are we in? And it's
Wicked,
like,
bro.
the thing is like, man, we're looking at the site, it's like $3.5 grand, almost $4 grand for these sex dolls. And they're apparently, you know, they're selling out, man.
They're selling out.
Man went onto on what do you call it? On Amazon. Let's see if this shit loads up. Because, bro, man, we're looking at it on Amazon. I was thinking that I might not even put it on the camera, man, because I don't think you even fucking that shit will probably get. Yeah, they'll probably take. Good lord. Scroll up, man.
But I hear it. You know, here again is a prime example as to why you're supposed to constantly pray for the destruction of society, man.
Yeah.
Because it's too much, man.
Well, all this shit going, you know, if you're not sighing and crying,
I have it right here.
You might read it, man, because what the fuck?
Ezekiel chapter 9 and 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All the abominations, man. And the scripture says in Proverbs 29 and 16, right? Which I'm going to read here quickly. It's Proverbs 29 and 16, it says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. Like, to be honest, I mean, I always heard about, sex dolls and plastic sex dolls. Now you have sex dolls with artificial intelligence, man.
Yeah.
You have.
She'll learn what you like, man.
And turn you on.
Yeah.
And try and flirt with you, man.
Some Eden one, you get that electric finger up the anus.
Yeah,
man.
it's turning you
She'll
on.
realise it.
You have plastic trying to turn you on.
Oh man, what the hell? I'm like, what kind of bro, this is meant to be the enlightened society, man. Progressive, forward-thinking, great realm. Bro, what the hell is forward-thinking and great? About some guy
box
slamming in a robot, man. Man's gonna get, it's like, you might as well just get, I don't know, man. Like you might as well get a car engine and stick your dick in the exhaust, man.
There's people
like, what the, oh man, they do it, right?
do that.
Oh shit, gun.
This is Isaiah chapter 60, Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Yeah, that's some gross darkness. To be fair, it's like there's a lot of things. Basically, Esau's been up in the ante on the kind of madness he's been able to introduce. Because the thing is like, I'm thinking even back to like 2008, 2007, skinny jeans was a thing. Like, they had the white boys, the punk rock and white boys getting into it.
Yeah.
But then Jake was like, what? Tight jeans? No, fuck that, blood. So they basically wore down like the people's morals over time.
It was the younger generations growing up with these, a lot of them with these Edomites as well, seeing them doing it and all that.
Like it was a normal thing,
yeah.
And then they just wore away. Because the thing is like it's like you get grown men. Now the guy will be 40 years old. He's got some super tight, skinny slash jeans,
simple
pink shirt.
Yeah, but then 20 years ago, pink shirt, bright pink shirt. But then 20 years ago, you wouldn't be seen dead in that. So that's basically just like it's Esau just made it fashionable to do these things, and it's the same thing with like this whole the sex doll thing. They're not pushing it like this is weird. They're like, okay, this is the next frontier. It's like when the internet came out, man. They had the whole cyber sex thing, which I don't even know what that shit was. Some cyber sex, and they were like, oh yeah, cyber sex, blah blah. Well, it's like they got the VR, man.
Yeah.
Because I think the VR, they say they're doing VR porn. You got the headset on, and it's
basically another level of cyber sex. That's all it is.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like cyber sex. Just I don't even know what cyber sex. All I heard about it is a thing. I don't know what it was, man. But then, I was going to read this review here of Amazon. This is for the one of them tranny sex dolls, not the one with the AI and the programming. Just the regular one, man. This guy's called Scott Counts. It says, this has exceeded our expectations. Much more realistic than my wife and I expected.
Wow.
So this guy's got a wife. Yeah. He's got a tranny sex doll.
Bro,
and he's normal.
Oh man.
This guy will go to work and be a supervisor, man.
Yeah, this guy, he's going to come to work. I'll be looking at you, okay. So
what time? You're
late.
35 seconds late.
Yeah.
But you got a tranny sex doll in his room, man.
Yeah. Tranny
flip flops.
doll. Man, jumping on it every night. A tranny sex doll, bro. That is just that's confusing. That's a mess. Go on.
This is Romans chapter 1 verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
Start 26.
I'll start at 26. For this cause, God gave them up onto vile affections.
Well, that's a vile affection. It's aside from being a faggot lesbian, fucking a plastic box is a vile. You're just dead.
Man's basically fucking it in the name of object. That's like that's like a guy fertilizing the earth. He's gonna dig a hole in the earth and then moisten up with some hot water. Yeah. And
that's it.
And then just start plunging away in the earth. Bro, it's essentially the same thing, man. I mean, like, come on, man. That's
it's not life.
It's just a whole.
Bro, it doesn't even have a soul.
Yeah, it's just a robot, man.
You might as well fuck a corpse, man.
Yeah, for real.
Which people do.
You'll probably feel the same. Yeah, people do that. Let's
No,
not give them ideas.
God.
I've got this one on the Sun here. It says, sex change. Transgender sex robots could be coming to a bedroom near you.
Nah, it's not coming to mind.
Yeah, for real, man. I don't know what if that. Oh, you know, might have to chop the android's head off, man. It says, as bosses reveal interest in love droids for any sexual preference. It says transgender sex robots could be a new and exotic way to spice things up in your bedroom. And that's like Esau. The thing is like, it's just like over time how they had like dildos. Like when dildos first came out was a big thing. Then it's just like, it's just a dildo. And then like, oh no, man. Like fucking anal beads. Maybe anal beads for these Edomites. It was just, okay, well, it's it's even like anal sex, man. Like when it was Esau was the first, it was just some creepy Edomites doing it. Now it's just like, just everyone,
Yeah, man.
Done in the arse and that.
The other day I was at work, man.
Oh,
Single
man.
Jake, man.
Oh,
He's,
man.
yeah, man. I do it. He's like, yeah.
He's an idiot.
He was telling me, yeah, and I look at him like, yeah. Well, that's what you been doing, yeah. But yeah, it's tighter, isn't it? Yeah, you feel better. I'm like, bruv. I was looking at him, man, and obviously because I'm working, so I can't curse him out or show my real emotions, but I'm just like,
looking at him like
you
criminal.
dickhead, bro.
The thing is, it's like with all those things, Esau just makes it as like, it's an option, and then they just try and normalize it, and that's what they're trying to do with this. Just like, okay, well, man will just be at work like, yeah, I've got a sex robot, what you want to try her out, Cindy and that. I'll clean her up. You can fuck it out, bro. What? Like that's the level of normalcy they want to bring it to. Go on.
Ecclesiastes 10:6. Folly is set in great dignity. Now, if you go into the world of dignity, right? It means proudly, high place, high. So it's like foolishness is esteemed, man. Highly in this kingdom, man. Like, for example, it's been all over the damn news. And the thing is,
yeah, how is this even, like, the thing is for guys, bruv, the guys saw it, the thing is like, bruv, this is actually just, it's a robot, it's an inanimate object. It's essentially the same thing as if bruv, it's like there's guys that get married to fucking video game characters, man. Some guy married a picture, like what? I mean, a guy marrying a cow.
Bro.
Are you gonna be like, who, bruv? What the hell is it? And the thing is, this is mainstream. Every newspaper reporting, anytime anything happens, they're pushing it. And the thing is like the mass media is controlled and used by Esau.
It's part of Esau being a serpent.
Yeah.
Because why he pushes out his witchcraft, man.
Yeah.
Because that TV screen, that programming, is a way that he pushes forth his demons on these people, man. Because again, as you're saying, there was a time you couldn't wear skinny jeans. And it got programmed. It's been accepted.
There was a time it was news when Usher wore fucking jeggings. When Usher wore jeggings, it was news. Now it's just normal. Everyone's wearing it. All the ripped up, slashed up jeans.
And now it's a trend to be a buy. It's actually like a cool. It's like a fashion statement to swing both ways. Wow. And how did that come forth? Through Esau pushing it, I believe Hitler spoke about propaganda being a very important tool, because if you keep pushing a lie eventually will be accepted as the truth. And like now, if you push forth this lie, soon it will be accepted as a norm, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a preference.
Same as the pedophilia thing.
Soon it will turn into a sexual preference. What I prefer to fuck a plastic, man.
Yeah. That's pretty much. Because the thing is, it's like that with being a homosexual was at one point, it was a mental illness. Even being a transgender was a mental illness.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, and the thing is conversion, like, chopping the rod off or like getting a rod implanted was meant to be treatment for the mental illness. But it's the thing is like now they're saying, oh, it's just, it's gender, it's a sexual orientation. But that is a whole mess of confusion. That's some BS. Ain't no, like, there's no wisdom in that shit, man. It's just pure confusion. Let me get what the fuck? Okay. Let me get some of this, man, because this is just an interesting little article. It says it's on the Deacon Chronicle, and it says Church of Satan believes sex robots could save us all. So I mean, from that alone, that's just like, that just tells you exactly what spirits sex robots are aligned with, man. It says in the past year there's been a growing market for sex robots around the world. Designers are creating them with free breasts and detachable genitals. Not only have they been designed to look lifelike, they are created with intention of fulfilling the user's every desire.
You must be bugged out to be. You must be so bugged out to be fucking enjoying this shit, man. If you're watching this video, and you're into that, and you don't repent, the Lord gonna destroy you, man. You're all there popping a Cindy, bro.
Popping a fucking Barbie doll, a life-size Barbie doll.
Out of that, man? Fucking hell.
You did just Okay, so it says since the trend of sex robots have been increasing, many people have offered up mixed views about these robots. What really got people's attention were tweets by the Church of Satan about sex robots. And it says it turns out Anton LaVey, the founder of Church, predicted close to 2 decades ago that robots could have a positive impact on the world. In the 80s, he drew up a 5-point plan where he encouraged the use of humanoids as a way for people to relieve their dark desires and save our society. So hold on, the Church of Satan's talking about sex robots in the 80s, and now all of a sudden they come they come to the forefront. That's you should be thinking like, okay, if your brain switched on, you think, what the hell is I don't quite understand what's going on here. Maybe this is a demonic agenda.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Says scientists and techno geeks are doing a bang up job in these departments, developing exceedingly realistic artificial human companions. Both, it says in an introduction, Satanism, the Fear of Religion, the views of the church, ideas, artificial human companions is explained. The Church of Satan states, fourth, Satanists advocate a new industry, the development and promotion of artificial human companions. These humanoids will be constructed to be as realistic as possible and available to anyone who can afford one. Recognizing that the human animal often raises himself up through the denigration of another, this will provide a safe outlet for such behavior. Have the lover of your dreams regardless of your own prowess. Every man a king who can purchase his own subject, or contrariwise, by the master you wish to serve. Freedom of choice to satisfy your most secret desires with no one to be bothered is now at hand. So hold on, that just sounds demonic. That sounds like you're doing some impure, evil wickedness in the darkness. You switch the light off, it's you and your sex dolly, and her mouth lights up. And then, bruv, I'm like, bruv, what the fuck's going on there, man? That's a hot mess. Fucking hell. That's a hot mess of confusion, man. And this is the thing is that's what Esau's promoting, man. Because even this being in the news and as big as it is, I don't even know how many. The thing is, of course, there's guys buying it, there's guys into it, but they cost like $3.5 fucking grand. Niggas in the ends ain't buying this. Yeah. It's like, it's not hundreds of thousands of millions of these selling. These things have barely been in production. But Esau's flossing it and throwing it out there just to promote it, because he wants it in the mind state of the people that, okay, it's normal to fuck robots. So when he basically uses, okay, you're no longer allowed to have sex with women. Because you have all these messed up stories. You had there was a fucking family in Russia, a mum and a dad, that were raping up their 12-year-old daughter for like 4 months, man. 4 months straight. I think it was like 8 months. They were raping up their 12-year-old daughter. saying, okay, we're preparing you for adult life. You have all these freak incidents happening, and Esau's just going to get to the point of saying, look, we're going to have to decide who has sex with who. Okay, if you need to bust a nut, you know, the women have got the male sex dolls, the trannies have got the tranny dolls, and the men have got the female dolls.
Oh, in Holland, they got that article came out about sexual consent, signing on the forms and all that.
Yeah.
In Holland.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, they're moving towards that.
And now they've actually created an app that's a contract of consent.
Yeah.
So like it's an app where it's proof that this chick gave you consent, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, imagine that was a joke. In 2004, fucking Dave Chappelle did a skit about that. The prenup. It was just like a contract, and it's saying, okay, you agree to what you're gonna do in sex before you even have it. Imagine that was a joke in a comedy sketch, but now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's how you know Esau pushes things out through his TV shows, through his medias. So then you know you can see this is an agenda. Because the thing is okay. There's more. The thing is sex dolls ain't even new.
That's the spirit.
Sex dolls ain't even new.
The spirit.
Sex dolls have actually been around from like
in Egypt.
Yeah.
The actual
fucking hell.
The dildo and stuff. It came from Egypt, man. These things existed, bro.
Yeah.
And but basically a sex toy now comes from that family. Really, when you think about it, it's just an artificial invention of a organ, man. So it's basically the same thing. A tranny doll, a pussy, a vibrator. That's basically just an invention of an organ. So that proves there's truly no new thing under the sun. Sex was esteemed so high in Greece, in wickedness,
in Egypt,
in Sodom and Gomorrah, in Egypt, in Rome, and I believe there's a quote that basically I can't quote off the top of my head, but as a society is about to be taken down, sex is highly esteemed as such. That's what happened in Rome.
No.
You know.
Because it's you know it distracts people from what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like okay, you know, whoa, it's funny. I was looking at an image earlier. It said like after like during when the it was the statistics for Pornhub, yeah, and it said like the average amount of traffic they got. So it's like in Hawaii. This is in Hawaii. So when that scare went off in Hawaii, the fake missile crisis, they said, okay, yeah, missiles about to drop, you know, hide, run and hide. You run, hide, tell, the thing they had for when the terrorist attacks over here. Run and hide, basically. Yeah. They said there was like a dip of 77% on average traffic. Then it's like, as soon as the news came out, that they was fake, it went up like 44% of the average.
Wow.
So everyone was like, yo, man, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm alive. Let me watch some porn. They need to do something just to get off, man. Because all that stress, and that's what it is. It's basically Esau's giving outlets for stress. And the thing is when you actually think about it, life is fucked up out here. Yeah. You know, you could wake up one day and just lose your job. Like they said, I was listening to, what's his name, man? To fucking, what's this prick called? X22 report. This guy was saying, like, in Walmart, they're cutting like up to I think 40,000 jobs. Maybe it was even more than that, man. It was a couple thousand jobs in Walmart, but they're saying, you know, everything's going good. Hella jobs are being lost. You know, people are losing their livelihoods, or they could be going to, or they could be doing the same job but getting paid like 20-30% less. So it's hard to survive. So people are in stressful, messed up situations, working jobs they don't want to do, and then basically Esau's providing, okay, you need to deal with that stress? Okay, here you go. Here's a sex dolly, man.
Yeah. This is Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And iniquity upon his earth has abounded and is abounding. This is a prime example, man. Because in 2003, man, I wasn't thinking about no fucking artificial intelligence sex doll. but it's here now.
In 2003, I didn't even know about no LGBT.
I didn't even know
think
that
existed.
No, that
But
shit
now,
actually-
but now, you know, it's everywhere, man. And it's just some people out here are depressed. People out here through, man. And people out here need death. Because again, Sodom and Gomorrah were examples as to what would happen if a society is based on that kind of wickedness, man.
Preset up for you.
And these things that we're speaking about, because we ain't speaking about this because sex dolls. No, we're speaking about this because we're frustrated with the society, man, and we want it to be destroyed. Sigh and cry for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof.
This is Jude chapter 1 verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh.
Strange flesh. Go ahead.
Are set forth for an example.
Now, when Sodom and Gomorrah was taking place, yes, you had, men with men, men with beasts, men with kids, dykes and stone and so forth. But that all had a vibration to it, a dark vibration to it. Now, that's here now.
Yeah.
Men and men, women and women, and now men with gay sex dolls. That's that spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
It's a vibration before it's an action. That's this action to be at home. You're jumping up and down on
sweating out a piece of machinery. It's like if you get your car,
yeah.
you're gonna park the back seat of your car. Okay, get that little wedge and just stick it out. Oh.
Yeah.
On the gap between the seats.
that is the same spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah.
You're gonna stick it in the gearbox, man. You're gonna pull the stick out.
Let me do it quick.
Bro, what like that? Bro, you're out of your mind. You're going insane, man. Oh, you got more on that?
Just a bit more, yeah.
I
Are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
Eternal fire, because guess what? When it was burning for long. If a fact, if you go back to that time period of research, man, there's still sulfur on that land up until this day, and apparently, when it burns, right? It actually burns and turns into a form of fire, but like in the form of liquid. So that's why it's an eternal fire, because it will burn in sulfur and then split into like a liquid of fire, bro. That shows how intensely that the Lord hated Sodom and Gomorrah, man. To actually have it burn and burn harder.
Yeah. Let me read this, man. 2 Peter 2 and
6?
Yeah.
Spirit, that's all
yeah. For real, I could tell. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those after that should live ungodly. And the thing is like, bruv, those same acts have been coming back time and time again in all these societies.
You have to continue.
So it's like, yeah, that's what I know. I was going to go down still. That's what I was thinking to skip down. Like, you know what? You can work your way through it. Because the thing is like, bruv, these acts were done in all these, like the problem, all these societies. So it's nothing new.
Yep.
And it's basically just like, you already know what the judgment is, man.
Yeah.
That's why it's, like anyone bugging out over like, oh, why would America be getting, why is America getting destroyed? Bro, hold on. But that's like, it should not be such a wonder, man. Because the thing is they've done these deeds and they're flaunting it. Just like with the homosexual agenda, they started pushing that, the trans agenda, and now sex robots are getting a big push. All kinds of things.
Nowhere, man.
And the thing, like I was gonna say, they've been sex like dildos have been around since
forever.
Fucking even in just in modern so-called modern times, like 70s, 80s, whatever.
Yeah.
Dildos, all that kind of shit, vibrators. They've even got them machines, man, that you can
pumps,
like a cycling machine.
Yeah.
And then you can just be ramming yourself out of a dildo whilst getting exercise at the same time. Come on. The thing is all these things are not new. So it's bro, that's why it's like, why is Esau pushing it now? All of a sudden. Why is it suddenly so important as sex dolls? Because it's the agenda, man.
Oh, they were pushing that with that film, the one with
Surrogates with Bruce Willis.
No, I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of not Brad Pitt, George Clooney, when he was making them fucking sex machines.
Oh, what fucking burn off the reader.
Yeah.
When we blazed Brad Pitt in the forehead.
Yeah.
But where he made the chair with the dildo. Fucking hell. That shit. Yeah, I don't know what that shit is, man.
They're pushing that shit, man.
But yeah, it's yeah. Says verse 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversations of the wicked. And that's why man did the video, because man are looking up these things.
Yeah.
And this is just, bro, what the fuck is this shit, man? Like, when you actually start looking into what kind of sexual deviancies Esau's normalized, I think they even had like sex dolls of children, man. But like on the dark web, like you can't even legally buy them. And it's like when they had like the doll that you can rape, she'll be resisting. So it's like, it's basically just giving into all those deep, dark desires, man, that man have. It says, for that, verse 8, for that righteous man dwelling among them in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And the thing is that's, sex dolls is just one facet of that. There's various levels and degrees of wickedness to what Esau does out here. It's a complete mess, man. You read the news for a day, and then you're done, man. You're like, this place is through. This whole system, the way it's running, it's a hot mess, man. And we need to just get. I don't know what the fuck we're doing here, man. What the fuck is, bro? If you've got a universe where it's Esau's trying to make it normal for a guy to be going and backshotting a dolly in it for 7 hours in a day, like, bro, come on, man.
We basically hate the things in this society, man. And this society is actually geared towards people accepting things all the time, and that's why we steady always curse things out. People accepting homosexuality, people accepting things like skinny jeans and different, because we see it as part of the agenda. We're steady cursing it out, man. That's why the scriptures say the men that sigh and cry for the abominations, because Esau's always going to bring out some next abomination before the end, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and we're going to be steady cursing it out.
Well,
Yeah. The thing is like
ancient Greece.
Well, you might as well just get it on the camera.
That's actually a chick with a dildo in ancient Greece, man.
That ancient Greek dildo action. Oh, fucking hell.
Now, if you just tap the screen, it'll show.
Yeah. Ancient Greek dildo action popping
and it was going on back then, it was going on prior to then, and it's esteemed now. Now there's like 50 million different kind of sex toys.
You can get every size, shape, colour, texture you want.
These chicks have a dildo, right? A dildo machine, yeah? She getting popped by a dildo, and it sprays some water in her clit, man. At the same
like
time,
someone busting inside of her.
Yeah, it's like
to
give us a sensation from the water, bro. And that was, we have artifacts. You know the guy when we talk about the facts. We've got the artifacts.
Yeah, exactly. It's evidence is there. Criminals. It says, verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. So, Esau's the thing is with these things, Esau's been up in the scale of wickedness that he's basically allowing. Fucking hell. That he's basically allowing in society, man. So it's gone from, where it started off with just, okay, being gay is not bad. And then it's like, and then they made it like being gay is like just some ultimate life form. Then, they just get gradually up on the scales of wickedness, man. But that's because the judgment's not come, man. That's
why paedophilia is going to be the next big one. Yeah, they're already trying to push it in the agenda.
It's like, mental illness. The thing is pedestry was around in ancient Rome anyway. So, and the thing is it's around now anyway, because, there's paedophile rings. You have people coming out like, oh yeah, when I was young. In Hollywood as well, a lot of the guys in Hollywood, you have them like, yeah, I was violated. Even, who was it? Mike Tyson came out saying he got molested when he was young.
Yeah.
And he said, he got messed up, he felt messed up. And then Terry Crews as well. I mean, you know that guy was messed up. The thing is, even Mike Tyson, he was fucking he's unstable as fuck, man. And he was young as fuck. That's why he's mentally, he'd already crumbled when he was young anyway. So you could tell some events had happened in his life. And it's like with a lot of women you got nowadays, like, like them stories of, you know, got family members popping the little daughter. That shit happens far more frequently than is actually reported.
Especially
A lot of them, it's
in
like
jail.
30 years, 40 years later, when they're 50, 60, they might say, okay, when I was young, you know, a family member, he violated me. Then that's because they're probably thinking about it. That shit's messing them up in the spirit. These things are happening. This is the kind of... so, you know, paedophilia is already within the society.
Hey, I can have a quick point on that.
No.
You know, you actually have a thing called trans age.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And there's actually a guy, right, which we actually brought out this article a couple of years ago. It says 52-year-old father lives as a 6-year-old girl. So to this guy actually left his family. Actually, he got pet. Look, I'm not trying to shit. This is a guy. He actually left his family. He actually got fake adopted parents to be his parents, so that he can actually live as a 6-year-old girl. Now, what about if this same guy says actually,
I'm sexually attracted to 6-year-olds.
I'm sexually attracted to other 6-year-old
girls or boys, isn't it?
You know, he's trying to age, isn't he?
And then you say, well, you know, he's 6.
Well, but it's his sexual preference.
Exactly. And the thing is like, that's just like, with the thing is that's the argument for homosexuality. So you can't help but be gay, though. But God made you that way. Yeah. So it's like, how's it wrong if man God made you? Bro, of course it's wrong, man. Bro, what the hell is, bro, there's nothing. Come on, man.
You got more than Peter, so
yeah. There was, verse 10, it says, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. So that's basically, if you're going to sit there and be like, you know what, actually I do just want to pop that 6-year-old boy in the anus. Brother, you are just living in a lust of the flesh. You're a beast in man's skin, bro. That's confusion.
Read the point on Lot.
Yeah, vex just a lot with the...
with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
I'll read that in verse 7. And deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
And him, Lot, being, you know, preserved from death during that time period of wickedness applies to us now. Because us lot are vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Shit, man. To see like an article on this shit, it's not vexing.
Yeah.
We're actually vexed with the filthy because actually people getting paid to research this. People are getting funding.
People are getting funding to make these things. They're selling them at fat profits.
3 something.
3.7 grand.
You know. So that's probably like now probably a third of a Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And they're selling like hot fire as well.
Yeah.
You know?
They're hot cakes, man.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Let's go, man. What the fuck?
I got something. You got something?
Nah, I need something.
This is Psalm chapter 64, verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And that's talking about the elites and their groups, you know, like they're called the Illuminati and so on and so forth. They do their studies, they do their psyops. They look into things and how they can progress this satanic agenda upon the earth and how they can spread more wickedness, man. Okay, so they can bring in their rulership and make themselves at the Most High. And then after all these studies, they start to push out on the people bit by bit. And the only bastion of light, the only people that are coming against this are the men of the Lord. The men that are sighing and crying for the abominations, as it said, man. You know, and the men that believe on their word. Those are the ones that are going to be sealed and sealed from have the mark of exemption, man, from the coming destruction. Because just like Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, Abraham said to the angels, man, he said, you know, if there's one righteous, you know, he bring it down to yeah, and then they remembered the word, and then they said, okay, and they let Lot go, man, and his family, you know. So, and you were saying basically, in a sense, Lot That's like how we are at the moment, man.
Yeah.
You know, we see these things and we're vexed by it, man.
Hurt.
And we see these articles, we hear people speaking about it out and about. We watch videos on it. You know, we keep up to date with these things because we have to, man. Because who else is calling out against it, man? You know?
Yeah, the thing is like it's just like in the deep dark crevices of the online world, all kinds of freak things are getting done, man, in the darkness. And like really, it's like these sex dolls. That's one of them. Because it's like, bro, a fucking transgender sex doll. You're gonna okay. You look online. You go on Amazon. Now, unfortunately, it's in my Amazon search history. You can find like the dolls of of transgenders, and you got a man and his wife being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that transgender sex doll
to spice up the relationship.
Spice up.
Nigga, how much spice you need?
Like
man?
what the hell? Like that's not spice, man. That's radioactive poison. That's
how about
a
her? What's wrong with your chick wearing a thong and hoop earrings, man?
But that's
how much spice do you need in your relationship?
Yeah, and these sex toys and all that, they're big amongst these people, man. Mm-hmm. And they must just see this as okay, this is like the Ferrari of sex toys. It's like the next level. Oh honey, we got to get this.
Yeah, like
it's a fashion thing, you know.
Guy might say, honey, I want to get another wife. And she's probably, no, you dickhead, you can't do that. But it's not human, honey.
He probably wants a husband, man. He don't want
a sex toy husband, bro.
He wants a toy boy, just to help them out.